Okay, welcome to my channel again. And we are discussing in the previous lecture relational database querying with SQL. So I have discussed only one question. Today we shall discuss about the remaining questions too. So this is the second question on this topic. It came in GATE 2025. The question I am reading. Consider the following database tables of a sports league where player relation has three attributes between player ID, player name, and the age, team ID, team name, teams, the city, and CID means coach ID. Another relation coach ID, coach name, and members is just mapping between player ID and the team ID. Which player belong to which team. An instance of the table and an SQL query are given, and this is an instance. Okay, so for all the four tables are listed here with the values, and the SQL query is like that. Select minimum. Min function is used here. P dot age, and P refers to the player table from player P, or P dot PID in some query is there in inner query, and the inner query is select m.pid from team T, coach C, members M, or c.name equals to mark, and t.cid equals to c.cid, and m.tid equals to t.tid. To quickly understand this query, first we have to understand that there is only one condition is given, that is c.name equals to mark. That is the coach names will be marked here, and these two equalization, that is t dot cid and c dot cid equals to and m dot tid equals to t dot tid, these two equalization are just for the joining, so you know these things. So we are not considering this into the as a condition. You have only coach name is marked, that is the condition that you have to check in the inner query, and from where we are trying to select m.pid, that is the player ID from the member table. So first we have to understand how the coach mark is there, and the coach ID is 102. Okay. Now when the coach ID is 102 from team, the TID is 10 for 102. TID is 10. Team name is Mumbai, MI, and team city is Mumbai. Now we have to select m.pid from M. Okay, so M is here members. So for 10, team ID is 10 here. So 10, two team members are there. One has the PID 1 and another one has the PID 3. Okay, two PIDs selected, and in function will check whether the result within this set or not. That is the condition. In and not in, this kind of functions are just to check the set, okay, whether the result is a subset of that set or not. Okay. Now select minimum p dot age from player P, or p dot is outer query, or p dot pid in that set. The set is here pid is 1 and pid is 3. So pid here in the player table, pid is 1 and 3 is, one is just with age is 31, another one is Ishan, age is 26. And what I have to select the minimum p dot age. Okay, so the minimum among these two, the age is 26 is minimum, then 31, so it will be written, and the answer will be 26. My explanation is same. If you Okay, so my explanation is like that. So we find first the coach as per the inner query, and we find the team ID, that is T10, from the coach ID 102, and it is mapped, that coach, and sorry, that team is mapped to the team members, and that is one is 10, sorry, no, one is 1, another one is 3, two team members, and then the green line follow. The player is just 31 and is on 26, and obviously 26 is less than 31, so the answer is 26. Okay, so we can go to the next question. Now consider the following table named student in a relational database. The primary key of the table is roll number. The SQL query below is executed on this database. Select star from student where gender equals to 8 and marks greater than 65. The number of rows returned by the query is. Obviously, the it is a easy question, so the marks we have to consider first, and that is greater than 65, and gender is 8. So there are gender 8 entries are this one, and this one. So three entries are there, and 65 one with marks 65 one entry is there. So the marks greater than 65 refer to this row and this row. Okay, so these two row will be returned, and the answer will be 2. Okay, the explanation is very simple. We need to find students whose gender is 8 and mark he or she obtained is greater than 65. So students with roll number 2 and 3 will be returned. Its answer ID 2. Answer is 2. Okay. Next question. We have 4 tables. Consider the relational database with the following 4 schemes, their respective instances. And these schemes are student number, student name, department number is there. Another relation is department, and department number, department name is there. Then course number, course name, and department number. Register is basically a mapping between student and the course. So student number and course number are there. Now the SQL query, select star from student as is or not exist. Select C number from course or D number equals to D01 except select C number from register where S number equals to S dot S number. Okay. So this question is not so easy to and straightforward. We have to think a little bit, and we have to know the meaning of all the keywords of SQL that is exist except. Okay. So first of all, the basic thing that you have to know that when we use a function like exist, uh, we know the outer query will select one after another student here, student relation, and uh, it is getting the rows. So in the student table, it is trying to fetch the one after another row, and whenever it fetches the row 1, it will send the row to inside the inner query. So that is the very basic thing. And except is a keyword where we are basically it is a subtraction. Okay, so whenever in the inner query, the first part, that is, sorry, select C number from course or D number is D01 is generated, except will subtract the return result of the second query. Okay, so the first query actually, if we know where D number is D01, so D number is D01, and these two Okay, from ports. So the C number is C11 and C12. What are the ports then? We want to know only C number, ports number. C11 and C12 will be the set if we think about it. And except we'll check that where C number from register. Okay, C number it is C11 and C12. So C11, C12, lot of entries are there from S number equals to S dot S number. So here student number is one. This S number is from the register relation, and S dot S number the same attribute but from this relation S. Okay. So whenever the outer query fetches the first row information will go to the inner query, and so we have to check step by step for each and every rows. That is the key thing that we have to do. That's why in the explanation I have to do the thing. Okay. So this is the query in blue, and these are the basic things that just I have discussed: the exist function as well as the except function here, and C11, C12 are the result of the first part of the inner query. Okay. Then the let us take each student one by one. Okay. So in the subquery first part, we have already C11, C12, and in the following, we will check the except clause result only. So first, suppose we have taken one student S01, and in the register table, S01 registers for both the courses. If we go to the table, so I take S01, okay, and in the register table, the C number for S01 is C11 and C12, okay, C11 and C12, okay, for S01, yeah. So both the courses, that is the set, is written there, registers for both the course C11 and C12, and so the whole subquery result will be C11 and C12. As I have told, that's a except means the subtraction, so minus is there, and ultimately we get a null or false. So S01 info will be printed, but why it will be printed? Because so this inner entire query will return a null, and null means false statement, and not exist is a function, is a boolean function. When the entire result will be false, it will return true because not is there, and if it is the entire inner query returns true, it will return false because not is there. Okay. So in the first for S01, it will return true, and that entry of the student will be printed. S01 James and D01 will be printed. Similar thing, if I do for S02, C11 and C12 minus, because C11, C12 is fixed. Now we have to check the inner second part of the inner query. So S02 is first. So I will check this table, S0 register tables. S02, S02 is not there, only for C11. So the set will be like this, and the resultant will be C12 true. So S02 info will not be printed because one result at least returned, that means it is a true value, and not exist is applied, so false will be there, and S0 information will not be printed. Similarly for S03, if I check again the table for S03, C21 and C22, C23 also. Okay, so if I minus, then so S03 will be returning true and not exist to be false, and so S03 will not be printed. Or S04, S04, C11, C212, that is the same thing. So it will be written a null value, and obviously that info will be printed. S05, something is written, so obviously it is true value and not exist will be applied, so false, and S05 info will not be printed. So ultimately 2 will be the answer, so 2 for S01 and S04 will be printed, and the query will return 2 only, those 2 rows. Okay, the next question. So in GATE, sometimes the question you have to read very carefully, and you will get the answer from the question sometimes. And this question is like that. So the question starts with a description and then a query, and it asks something. The relation scheme given below is used to store information about the employees of a company. Employee ID is the key and department ID indicates the department to which the employee is assigned. And this is the only one and only one relation, EMP, employee ID, name, gender, salary, department ID are that fits. Consider the following SQL query. Select department ID, count function is there, count star, so it will just calculate number of rows selected according to the condition. From EMP, where gender equals to female and salary greater than some inner query is there. Select AVG, average salary from EMP group by department ID. And this group by department ID is outside the inner query, and that's why it is applicable to count. It is associated with the count function. Okay, this one. So now the question is the above query gives for each department in the company the number of female employees whose salary is greater than the average salary of employees in the department, employees in the company, female employees in the department, female employees in the company. Okay, so obviously we can understand that it is applicable only to the female employee, that is gender equals to female, and then the salary is greater than this group by department ID, you just think about it that it is department ID is there as another attribute to print in the outer query. That's why group by department ID. So for each and every department, the number of people who is female and salary is greater than something will be printed only. Okay, so that is not the question. The question is this inner query what does it return? The above query gives for each department in the company the number of female employees whose salary is greater than the average salary of something. Okay. So here the inner query select AVG salary from in EMP. Okay. So the employee EMP table will obviously will store all the information for all the departments of the company, not only one department or two. There's no specific condition is applied here. That's why it is the company. So B is the correct answer. Employees in the company. Employees in the department will not be correct because it has not applied any higher statement here within the inner query. That's why employees in that company is the correct answer. And female employees in the department. So another conditional thing is the option, but it is not correct. Female employees in the company, no. Okay. So the explanation is like that I have told you. So the part select department ID counselor from employee where gender is female group by department ID is understandable where we are counting every department's female employees count. So this first part is okay. Second, the inner query, and now the and clause and salary greater than this one. The inner query clearly indicates the salary should be greater than the average salary of the whole employee table. That is the company's average salary. So option B is correct. Okay. So thank you up to this, and the remaining questions of this topic will be discussed in the next video. Thank you.